With some opening comments from Coach.
All right, thanks, Dave. Good to see everybody back. Welcome to 22-23. Obviously for us, it's, as I've said many times, I wish we had more of these opportunities to play either exhibition games or close scrimmages, because I think you learn as much or more once you get this deep into practice in these game situations into the preseason than as you do in practice. And we get, say you get out under the lights and see how guys respond and who steps forward, who got more work to do. But a lot of good things I know I'll find on film, a lot of things, and rightfully so, being October 30th, that we'll have to get better at. So with that, I will open it up to your questions.
Go ahead, Greg. Let's start with what you think you'll see on film that you know the team needs to get better at.
I thought, from a standpoint of touching the post more, and when we did touch it, even though I think we were 14 or 10 for 14 in the second half, it felt like we were 10 for 25. So finishing in the paint, that's one thing, and we will. And I think from a 3 points standpoint, I don't look at so much at what the number is, but what's the quality. And I thought we took a lot of tough threes, especially early. So that's something, just shot selection, shot quality, those things that these guys haven't spent a ton of time on that, unless it's really egregious. But that's something and they understand how shot selection affects us in transition, those type of things. Give Eau Claire credit, they were bombing away, which was good for us to have to guard, multiple guys that could shoot it, handle that. So I thought we did a good job of taking care of the ball. For the most part, it didn't get ragtag, didn't get sloppy. And defensively, for the most part, I thought we were good. They had some tough shots over us, but to hold them to 30% or whatever we did, from the field, defensively, this group, I think, has the ability to do that because of the versatility of the pieces.
Hey Coach, you guys have a lot of new faces on the court for you this season. Was there maybe a guy that stood out to you, or a few guys that impressed you today?
I think one was a vet, Tyler Wall. I think just the versatility he brings both ends of the floor. He's part of that whole defensive prowess of being able to switch a lot of things and cover up for maybe mistakes. And today we were doing maybe more exchanging and switching than normal, just because of the 5 shooters for the most part on the floor. So you try to cover up as much as that. I think the versatility of him. I thought even in small pieces, small chunks, Marcus Silver did some good things. He'd been out sick for a day or so. He looked green yesterday in practice, but I thought for coming back, he's one that I think has some potential to do some things. Connor obviously excites you from an offensive standpoint because of the release and his ability to shoot it. But Chris Hodges, I think got in there and finished in the paint. That was good for him, just because even though he only played about 10 minutes, he realized he didn't play for a year and a half through back into high school because of COVID and other family health concerns. So, and then obviously last year redshirting. So any experience, specifically those new guys, for the most part they're all new in terms of their role, whether they're new to the program or sliding one seat closer. Any experience that we get to put them in live competition is beneficial.
Greg, I'm curious what you thought about your rebounding today. You had a couple inches on them in terms of top height, but they still out rebounded you 35 to 34. I know it's only one rebound, but I'm just curious if you saw anything.
Well, I don't look at numbers, Abby, because if they shoot 30% and we shoot 50, 49, there's going to be more rebounds for them to get. I think I'll look through the film in the second half, but the first half ones that I saw, 2 of them were air balls that we missed blockouts, whether they're air balls or not. So there's some blockout responsibilities. It's not really about height, it's about technique-wise, and if we're caught in rotation, and do we get bodies and make contact, and a couple of them that they got to, we didn't. And then also when you have a team that shoots a lot of threes, where 33 of their 52 attempts are threes, there's long rebounds. So understanding you can't run too deep into it, but for the most part, that number is what it is because they shoot 30%. There's a lot more misses for them to try to gather up.
Coach, this was your first chance to get a look at your two transfers, Max and Kamari, in game action for you. What did you see from them that you really liked?
I've always thought Max brings a defensive toughness to us, and that was, I think, on display today, and he's vocal. You can hear him out on the court, talking through things, and Kamari, I thought, was better, much like last week against Northern Iowa. He was better in the second half than he was in the first, although the one home run ball he tried to throw, he'll continue to learn how valuable possessions are and understand that. But I thought, for both of them, defensively is always the first hurdle for here, understanding, our rules and our system and the how-tos. And then it's one thing to do it in the drills and in practice, and then it's another thing to be able to do it when it's live action in the game. So I thought for the most part, we were pretty sound defensively. A few hiccups here and there, but very few mistakes. From that standpoint, Eau Claire was able to knock down some shots over us at times that were deep, but I think they both are getting better on the defensive end and understanding, and then offense will find water always finds its level. They'll find their spots, they understand their roles, and we'll continue to build that from a role standpoint as the season progresses.
Coach, today it seemed like the offense at times was a little stagnant. How'd you kind of see how the ball movement was, and is there any concerns or anything like that, or what were your initial thoughts from the ball movement today?
No, I think ball movement was fine. I think sometimes the shots we took out of it, either by not touching the post or took a three that before we did touch the post, was part of it. And sometimes stagnation also appears in the fact that we're not making shots. So we may not be stagnating, but the ball's not going in, so it makes it look like we are. So I thought in sequences we were decent, but again, we've got work to do on that end too, just like we do on the defensive end.
If I could work in answer your question, just your thoughts partnering with UW-Eau Claire and kind of working together over the last year to bring this event together.
Yeah, no, Coach Sieverling has been awesome. He's been at every one of our statewide events since the time we started it. The first one was at Stout, then we went to Oshkosh, and then I think we were at La Crosse. Then we had the COVID timeout, and then we went to Whitewater. So he's been at every one, knowing that we were going to come to Eau Claire here this year. And he's helped lead, that campus to get behind this, and to be able to have the four organizations that they recognize today that are able to take the funds that we were able to present them with back to the Chippewa Valley and help in the patient care areas there is obviously great. That's really the whole mission behind this, is to try to help, your neighbors next door, and that's obviously, if you're within the boundaries of Wisconsin, we're trying to help. So like I said, Matt did a great job of helping with that. People in Eau Claire did a great job when we were up there in September, and we'll just continue to try to help each other, and whether it's through research here at Carbone or with the patient care things and initiatives that a lot of organizations are doing across the state. It's neat. I didn't get a chance to see all the timeouts and the people that they recognize and those things, but I know that they always do a really good job of representing the state.
Greg, you asked about Max. It looked like he landed a little bit awkwardly. Do you know, I know he's a tough kid, but is he okay?
Yeah, he's fine. He got retaped and he was gonna go back in, and then obviously we didn't need to put him back in, so at that point. Yeah.
One final question for Coach.
We gotta hustle up to get to across the Eagles, and Badgers are coming next.
With the Halloween little cobwebs, oh wow.
Patrick, your group is stepping up their game. Festive, yeah.
Greg, Steven mentioned that you guys haven't done a lot of up and downs in practice, and do you think maybe that was some of the reason for some of your miscues? Because I know you guys haven't, and I know, but that's not something you typically do, so I'm just curious.
Probably not. No, we've got to continue to get in. Conditioning will continue to improve as we go into this deeper into the season. That'll come through playing more games and more reps, less drills, more 5-on-5 that we've done. But now we're in better shape than we were in France, but we're not where we need to be and will be.
Okay, thank you.